Have you ever stood in front of your mirror, tugging at your blouse or adjusting your scarf, only to feel that something about the reflection doesn't match the vibrant woman you know you are inside? It's a jarring moment many women over 60 experience, yet few talk about. The surprising truth is that fashion can either showcase your hard-earned wisdom or betray you by adding years you don't deserve. Studies show that more than half of women past 60 admit they sometimes dress in ways that make them feel invisible rather than confident. Invisible, that word alone carries weight. It's not just about clothes, it's about presence, identity, and the right to still shine in every room you enter. Here's the twist: the little choices you make each morning, from hairstyle to fabric to neckline, can have a louder impact than fine lines or silver strands ever will. Most of us think wrinkles age us, but stylists say it's usually our wardrobe. Imagine this: two women, both 67. One is dressed in stiff, boxy clothes that mute her personality, the other in soft cuts and intentional colors. Place them side by side, and strangers will often assume a 10-year age gap, even if their birth dates are only months apart. That's how powerful these choices are. And yet, no one tells you this until it's too late. So let me ask you, could your closet be secretly holding you back? Could your favorite, safe, blouse or your go-to neutral sweater be the very reason you feel overlooked at family gatherings, reunions, or even casual meetups with friends? Stay with me, because in this video we're breaking down the fashion mistakes that quietly age women over 50 and 60. Some of them may shock you. Others will sting a little because they sound familiar. But by the end, you'll see exactly what's been happening in that mirror and, more importantly, how simple shifts can bring back the radiance you thought time had taken. Before we dive in, if this is already striking a chord with you, don't just hit that hype button. It's YouTube's way of letting women over 60 lift their voices above the noise. You can hype 3 videos a week, and every hype helps this message reach another woman who deserves to feel elegant and seen. Now, let's uncover the truth your wardrobe may have been hiding all along. Meet Anna Lee. She's 67, a retired schoolteacher from Ohio, the kind of woman whose gentle voice once calmed classrooms and whose laugh still fills her garden when she tends to her roses. To anyone who knows her, Anna is warm, approachable, and full of life. She's the grandmother who never misses a birthday, the neighbor who brings over extra tomatoes, the friend who loves jazz nights and church socials. But when it came to her wardrobe, Anna often felt a quiet disconnect between who she was inside and what the mirror showed her. For years, Anna believed that, modest and safe, was the best way to dress as she got older. Her closet became a row of neutral skirts, stiff blouses, and reliable jackets that made her feel appropriate, even invisible. Those choices seemed protective, as if blending in meant she wouldn't be judged. But safe clothes carry their own kind of risk. Without her realizing it, the very outfits she thought were respectful and neat were slowly muting her natural presence. The Anna who was lively in conversation looked muted in photos. The Anna who was full of energy felt diminished when she walked into a room. That truth hit hardest during her grandson's birthday celebration. In the pictures that captured balloons and laughter, Anna barely recognized herself. Her hairstyle looked heavy, her blouse stiff, her colors draining. She saw joy all around her, yet she looked tired, older than she felt, almost like an observer on the edge of the moment. It wasn't that she didn't belong, it was that her style was telling a story she hadn't chosen. And for the first time, she asked herself if her wardrobe had stopped reflecting the woman she truly was. That night, Anna admitted something she had avoided for years: her clothes were not neutral. They were powerful. They could either showcase her confidence or erase it. By clinging to habits formed decades earlier, she had unknowingly stepped into patterns that made her feel less visible. It wasn't just about fabric and fit, it was about presence, identity, and claiming space in a world that often overlooks women after a certain age. Anna's story is what makes this conversation honest but hopeful. She shows us that the small, daily decisions we make in front of the mirror are never trivial. Every blouse, every color, every cut tells a story about who we are today. Her journey from invisibility to elegance is proof that style doesn't fade with age, it evolves with us, if we let it. And as we explore the fashion mistakes that once weighed her down, we'll also uncover the simple shifts that lifted her back into her own light. Because Anna's story isn't just hers, it belongs to countless women over 60 who are ready to be seen again. Mistake 1. Clinging to outdated hairstyles. Anna Lee had always believed her shoulder-length cut was timeless. She first chose it in her 40s, when she was still teaching, and it carried her through PDA meetings, Sunday services, and countless family milestones. The style became part of her identity, neat, professional, and safe. But what she didn't realize was that the very haircut she trusted for decades had quietly stopped working for her. The wake-up call came at a moment she least expected, her grandson's birthday. She smiled in every photo, surrounded by balloons and laughter. Later, scrolling through the pictures on her daughter's phone, Anna froze. The woman she saw didn't look like the vibrant grandmother she felt she was. Her hair dragged her face down, creating shadows that exaggerated lines around her mouth. The cut that once highlighted her cheekbones now seemed to flatten them. For the first time, she felt a sharp gap between how she lived and how she looked. This is the hidden trap of clinging to an old hairstyle. Hair is emotional, it ties us to memories, to younger versions of ourselves, to moments when we felt most confident. Letting go feels like letting go of those memories. But faces change with time. Skin softens, bone structure shifts, and hair texture itself becomes finer. A style that once felt flattering can suddenly age us by a decade. The mistake isn't aging, it's refusing to let our style evolve with us. Anna realized that her hair had become a curtain, hiding her true expression. She didn't feel tired, but she looked it. She didn't feel stuck, but her reflection suggested otherwise. That disconnect was painful. And yet it was also liberating, because it meant change was possible. Stylists today say this is one of the easiest mistakes to fix. In 2025, the biggest hair trend among women over 60 isn't about chasing youth, it's about movement and softness. Cuts with gentle layers that lift the face, chin-length bobs that open up the neckline, side-swept bangs that brighten the eyes, these are all small shifts that instantly add light and energy. Even subtle changes, like softening a blunt edge or framing the face with lighter strands, can make a dramatic difference. When Anna finally booked her appointment, she was terrified. She almost canceled twice, worried she wouldn't recognize herself without the familiar style. But the day she sat in that chair and allowed her stylist to reshape her hair, something inside her shifted. The weight of her old cut fell away, and with it, years of invisibility. Walking past a shop window afterward, she caught her reflection and saw brightness she hadn't noticed in years. Her face looked open, her eyes lifted, her energy radiating outward again. The responses were immediate. At church, a friend whispered, "You look lighter." Her daughter said she seemed more like herself. Even strangers noticed. But the biggest change was inside Anna. She no longer avoided mirrors. She no longer felt like photos betrayed her. She felt seen. And not younger, just authentically herself, aligned with the woman she knew she was. So ask yourself, are you holding on to a hairstyle from another chapter of your life? Do you look at pictures and feel they no longer match the energy you carry inside? If so, you're not alone. The solution isn't drastic change, it's intentional change. Updating your hairstyle doesn't erase your story, it honors it. It says, I am here, present, and visible. And that's the opposite of aging, it's choosing to shine. Mistake 2, wearing the wrong necklines. Anna Lee always thought high, boxy necklines were her safest option. They looked tidy, proper, and respectful, exactly how she believed a woman in her 60s should dress. For years she buttoned up collared blouses and slipped into turtlenecks without questioning how they shaped her presence. But clothes tell stories, and the story those necklines were telling wasn't the one Anna wanted. It struck her at a family reunion. Someone snapped a candid photo, and when Anna saw it later, her heart sank. The blouse she had worn with pride didn't highlight her smile or her posture. Instead, it shortened her neck, cast shadows around her chin, and added heaviness to her shoulders. She looked older, stiffer, less approachable. It wasn't how she felt inside at all. That's when she realized her neckline was working against her, quietly aging her in ways she hadn't noticed. Necklines matter more than we think. They frame the face, direct the eye, and set the tone for the whole outfit. A high cut can look sleek on younger faces, but as our features soften, those same cuts close us in. They can make us look rigid when we're lively, tired when we're full of energy, closed when we're warm and open. It's not about modesty, it's about balance. And Anna saw that balance was missing. She decided to test something new. Instead of another collared blouse, she tried a soft V-neck top. The difference was immediate. Her neck looked longer, her face brighter, her whole presence lighter. She didn't feel exposed, she felt free. When she wore that blouse to dinner with friends, the compliments poured in. One friend told her she looked refreshed, another said she seemed more approachable. Even Anna noticed she sat taller and smiled more easily, as though her clothes had given her permission to breathe. Stylists in 2025 agree, open necklines like V-necks, gentle scoops, draped collars, and boat necks are some of the most flattering options for women over 60. They don't change who you are, they simply reveal it more clearly. They bring light to the face, soften the jawline, and create an elegant frame that lets your expression lead. Anna's experience showed her that the smallest details often make the biggest difference. A neckline might seem insignificant compared to color or fit, but it can completely transform the way you are seen. The wrong choice can box you in. The right one can open you up, letting your personality shine through. So ask yourself, do your favorite tops open you up, or do they close you in? Are they highlighting your presence, or muting it? Like Anna discovered, a simple shift in neckline can move you from looking tired to looking radiant, without changing anything else about you. And sometimes, that one change is enough to remind you, and everyone around you, that you're still here to be seen. Mistake 3, living in funeral colors. Anna Lee never thought much about the colors she wore. Like many women her age, she reached for black, gray, navy, and brown because they felt simple and dependable. They matched easily, they didn't draw attention, and they seemed appropriate for almost every occasion. Over time, her closet became a sea of dark tones, rows of safe choices that whispered the same quiet message: blend in, don't stand out. Anna told herself it was practical. But one Sunday morning as she dressed for church, she caught her reflection in the mirror and felt a wave of disappointment. Her black blouse and charcoal skirt didn't just look neat, they made her look tired. Her clothes weren't lifting her spirit, they were weighing her down. The truth is, color is energy. We often underestimate how much it affects not only how others see us, but how we feel about ourselves. Dark colors absorb light, and when they dominate, they can drain the natural glow from the face. Fine lines look deeper, skin tones look duller, and the overall effect can be somber. That's why stylists often call it the funeral effect. Dressing in endless dark shades can unintentionally send signals of fatigue, grief, or even disconnection, especially for women over 60 who already fight against a culture that tries to make them invisible. Anna's turning point came during a family photo session. Surrounded by her children and grandchildren, she stood in the middle wearing her usual black jacket. Later, when the photos were printed, she was stunned by the contrast. Everyone else seemed lit up in cheerful hues, her granddaughter in a lavender dress, her daughter in a coral blouse, her grandson in a crisp blue shirt. And there she was in the center, fading into the background like a shadow. She realized in that moment that color had power, and she had been giving that power away. This mistake is common because dark tones feel safe. They're slimming, they're easy to pair, and they carry a sense of formality. But what many women don't realize is that color doesn't have to be loud to be flattering. Soft pastels, jewel tones, and even muted brights can add vibrancy without feeling overwhelming. In 2025, color consultants for seniors are encouraging women to experiment with hues that reflect energy and optimism: sage green, dusty rose, soft teal, or even a bold accessory in crimson or turquoise. These shades don't just lift the face, they lift the mood. Anna took a small step. Instead of replacing her whole wardrobe, she began with a scarf in deep plum. The first day she wore it to a church luncheon, people noticed. A friend told her, "That color makes you glow." Her daughter commented, "You look so alive in that." Encouraged, Anna added a teal cardigan, then a coral blouse, and soon she found herself smiling in mirrors again. She wasn't trying to look younger, she was reclaiming the brightness that had always been part of her. The lesson here is not to throw out every dark piece in your closet. Black can still be elegant, navy can still be classic. The mistake comes from letting those shades dominate your style, from hiding behind them as though they are your only option. When every outfit is built on colors that absorb light, they begin to absorb your presence, too. So open your closet and ask yourself, does this palette reflect who I am today? Do these colors energize me, or do they drain me? The answer may surprise you. Adding just one intentional pop of color, a scarf, a blouse, even a piece of jewelry, can change not only your look but your spirit. Like Anna discovered, the world doesn't need you to fade into the background. It needs the light only you can bring. And sometimes, the simplest way to let that light shine is to stop dressing for a funeral and start dressing for life. Mistake 4. Accessories that tell the wrong story. Anna Lee never imagined her accessories were holding her back. She thought of them as small finishing touches, nothing that could make or break her appearance. Her favorite piece was an old black handbag she had carried for nearly 20 years. It had history. She took it to work as a teacher, to her daughter's wedding, even to choir rehearsals. To Anna, it felt reliable and meaningful. But reliability isn't always the same as relevance. At a church luncheon one afternoon, Anna placed her bag on the table beside the purses of her friends. For the first time, she noticed the difference. Their handbags were structured, modern, and sleek, while hers looked bulky and worn. Suddenly, her treasured accessory seemed less like a symbol of stability and more like a relic. She realized that without her knowing it, this handbag was telling a story about the past, not the woman she was today. Accessories are storytellers. A dated purse, heavy earrings from another decade, or scuffed shoes can send signals you never intended. Unlike hair or skin, which change naturally, accessories are fully within your control. That's why stylists often warn that outdated accessories can age you faster than fine lines. They give away the era you stopped updating your look. Even if your outfit is brand new, old accessories can drag the whole appearance backward. Anna didn't want to let go. She was attached to the memories her bag carried. But eventually, she tested something new. She replaced her old purse with a medium-sized tote in a soft plum color, practical yet elegant. The change felt small to her, but the response was immediate. Friends told her the color made her outfit come alive. Her daughter said she looked fresh. For the first time, Anna realized that accessories weren't just add-ons. They were signals of who she was in the present moment. This is where many women stumble. We hold on to accessories because they feel safe, because we've owned them for years, or because they remind us of important times. But holding on too tightly means we unintentionally let our wardrobe whisper a story of yesterday. Accessories should lift you, not weigh you down. They should match the woman you are today, not the one you were 20 years ago. In 2025, trends for women over 60 lean towards simplicity with impact, lightweight statement jewelry that frames the face, handbags in modern shapes and rich colors, and shoes that balance comfort with polish. These choices don't scream for attention, they quietly affirm confidence. They let the world know you are present, vibrant, and engaged. Anna's transformation didn't come from buying a whole new wardrobe. It came from realizing that the details matter. Her updated accessories didn't erase her past, they honored it while allowing her to step into the present. That's the heart of avoiding this mistake. It's not about discarding memories. It's about choosing to let your style evolve, so the story your accessories tell is one of strength, elegance, and a life still unfolding beautifully. Mistake 5. Dressing without intention. Anna Lee admitted that for years she dressed just to get by. She reached for the same neutral tops, the same safe skirts, the same comfortable cardigans. Her choices weren't bad, but they weren't deliberate either. They were habits, easy routines she no longer questioned. And that's where the real mistake began. Clothes chosen without intention rarely reflect the woman wearing them. Instead, they create a vague, muted image that says little about who she is today. For Anna, this pattern showed up in the smallest ways. She often dressed in the morning on autopilot, pulling whatever was clean and practical. She told herself it didn't matter, after all, she wasn't going to a big event, just errands, or church or a casual lunch. But when she saw herself in passing reflections, she realized her clothes weren't adding anything to her presence. They weren't making her feel stronger, happier, or more alive. They were simply covering her body. And when you're over 60, life is too short to be dressed in a way that doesn't lift you. One day her neighbor stopped her in the grocery store and said kindly, "You look tired." Anna wasn't tired at all. She was having a good day. But her neutral, shapeless outfit had sent a message she didn't intend. That moment stung, because it reminded her that clothes speak even when we don't. They can either mirror our vitality or mute it completely. Dressing without intention, Anna realized, was letting her wardrobe erase her voice. The good news is that intention doesn't mean extravagance. It doesn't require luxury brands or elaborate outfits. It means asking yourself one simple question before you step out: does this outfit reflect the woman I am today? For Anna, the change began with a patterned scarf. It was lightweight, colorful, and easy to pair with her usual outfits. The first day she wore it, her daughter smiled and said, "You look alive again." That tiny shift gave her permission to rethink everything. Soon, she added blouses with softer fabrics, cardigans in richer hues, and jewelry that carried quiet elegance. None of it was loud. All of it was intentional. Stylists agree that the biggest fashion mistake seniors make is not age itself, it's defaulting to clothes chosen without thought. Intention shows in details: a scarf that frames the face, a blouse in a color that lifts your skin, or even shoes that balance comfort with style. These choices remind the world, and yourself, that you still matter, that you are still present. Anna discovered that intentional dressing changed not only how others saw her but how she carried herself. She walked taller, spoke with more confidence, and felt joy when she looked in the mirror. She realized that style at 67 wasn't about impressing others, it was about respecting herself. So pause before reaching for the same safe pieces tomorrow. Ask, is this outfit helping me be seen, or hiding me away? Dressing with intention isn't about perfection, it's about choosing clothes that tell the truth about your strength, your story, and the vibrant woman you are right now. Anna Lee's story doesn't end with mistakes. It ends with transformation. When she finally stepped out of the cycle of safe, outdated choices, she discovered something she hadn't felt in years: joy in her reflection. Her new haircut lifted her face instead of pulling it down. Softer, open necklines revealed her warmth rather than hiding it. Richer colors replaced the funeral tones that had drained her presence, and carefully chosen accessories told the story of the woman she had become, not the woman she used to be. Most importantly, Anna began to dress with intention. Every piece she put on was chosen to honor who she was in this chapter of life, not to keep her stuck in the last one. The change wasn't about chasing youth, it was about alignment. For the first time in years, her reflection matched the vibrant spirit she carried inside. Friends noticed. Family noticed. But more importantly, Anna noticed. She no longer avoided mirrors or dreaded photographs. Instead, she felt confident, radiant, and visible. Her clothes had stopped erasing her, and started reflecting her. This is the truth that too few women hear: elegance after 60 isn't about erasing the years, it's about embracing them with choices that make you shine. Your wardrobe is not just fabric and thread, it's a language that tells the world how to see you. If your clothes whisper invisibility, the world believes it. If your clothes express confidence, grace, and vitality, the world will see that too. And the beautiful part? You have the power to decide which story your style tells. So as you think about your own reflection, ask yourself, are my clothes honoring the woman I am today, or are they quietly keeping me in the past? The answer may be as simple as a haircut, a neckline, a splash of color, or a fresh accessory. The changes don't have to be dramatic to be powerful, they just have to be intentional. Before you go, let me ask you for something important. If Anna's journey struck a chord with you, don't just like this video, hit that hype button right now. YouTube allows you 3 hypes a week, and each one pushes this message further so more women over 60 can rediscover their elegance. Share this video with a friend who deserves to feel radiant again. And make sure you subscribe to Ageless Style for women over 60, because here, we celebrate the truth: elegance doesn't fade, it evolves. Your transformation begins the moment you decide that you will no longer dress to disappear, you will dress to be seen. And being seen is not about age. It's about intention, presence, and the confidence to say, I am still here, and I am still radiant.